Hello learners, welcome to our channel Pinku for you. This is Subramaniam. Now we will discuss about time sequence test. This is the second class in reasoning. Time sequence test. Firstly, we will discuss about its concept. Calendar. For example, assume 1st January is Monday. Assume 1st January is Monday. How many Mondays are there in January? How many Mondays are there in January? Now how we need to solve this problem is, in a week there are 7 days, right? In a week there are 7 days. For every week we need to add plus 7. Like how means, see here they mentioned 1st January is Monday. 1st January is Monday. Add 7. Because in a week there are 7 days. So add 7. After adding 7 we will get 8. Second Monday is 8 plus 7. Third Monday is 15th and then add 7. Fourth Monday is 22nd and then add 7. Fifth Monday is 29. Okay, in January month there are 31 days. So we need to stop at 29. So count how many Mondays are there in January. This is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So there are totally 5 Mondays are there in January if January 1st is Monday. This is how we need to solve. We will try to solve similar problem. For example, assume that 16th May is third Sunday. 16th May is third Sunday. We need to find what is the day of 1st May. Okay, now we will try to solve this problem. Here they have mentioned 16th May is third Sunday. Fine, 16th May. In a May there are 31 days. Okay, 16th May is third Sunday. Third Sunday. Okay, what they have asked, we need to find 1st May. That means we need to subtract. In a week there are 7 days. So we need to subtract 7. So 16 minus 7, that is 9. This is second Sunday. 9 minus 7, second. This is 1st Sunday. So 1st Sunday is second. 1st Sunday is 2nd of May. Then 1st of May is, obviously it's Saturday, right? So answer is Saturday. This is how we need to solve these kind of problems. See, I will explain one more time. They have mentioned 16th May is third Sunday and they have asked to find the day of 1st May. See, they have mentioned 16th May is third Sunday. We need to find the day of 1st May. 16th May is third Sunday. Okay. Then we need to know second Sunday. That means minus 7. Second Sunday is 9th of May and then 1st Sunday is 2nd of May. If 1st Sunday is 2nd of May, then 1st of May is Saturday. Before Sunday it's Saturday only, right? If Sunday is 2nd, then Saturday will be 1st. So 1st May is Saturday. What is leap year? Leap year means an extra day in a year. In February 29th of every 4 years, a day will be counted. And this day of this year is known as leap year. Okay? For every 4 years, they used to add 1 day. And according to our logic, any year divisible by 4 is a leap year. Any year divisible by 4 is a leap year. For example, 2004. We need to divide 2004 with 4. 4 5s are 20. 4 1s are 4. Remainder is 0. So it is divisible by 4. So 2004 is a leap year. And then 2008, 2012, like this we need to count. Okay. Remember the catch word, any year divisible by 4 is a leap year. And one more thing, for centuries, for example, for centuries like 2000, 1900, 1800, like this, we should not divide with 4. For centuries we need to divide by 400. Okay, see, 400, we can divide 2000 with 400. 400 5s are 2000. Remainder is 0. This is how we need to solve if they have mentioned centuries. For centuries, we need to divide by 400, not by 4. Now we will see questions based in leap year. 1st May of 2005 is Monday. What will be 1st May of 2006? 2005. Firstly, they have mentioned 2005. Do the 2005 divisible by 4? No. 2005 is not divisible by 4. So it is not a leap year. Whereas 2006, obviously 2006 is also not divisible by 4. So it is not a leap year. So if 1st May 2005 is Monday, then 1st May of 2006 is Tuesday. Just add 1 day. If we fall under leap year, then we need to add +2. We will see that problem also. 1st March 2005 is Monday. What will be 1st March 2009? Do we have leap years in between 2005 2009? In between 2005 to 2009, obviously we have 1 leap year, because for every 4 years we need to get 1 leap year. We need to check which year is leap year. 2005 is divisible with 4? No, it is not divisible by 4. 6? No, it is also not divisible by 4. 7? No, it is also not divisible by 4. 2008? Yes, it is divisible with 4. So 2008 is an leap year. 2008 is an leap year. So 2008 falls under leap year. 2005 1st March is Monday. Then 2006 of 1st March is Tuesday. We need to add +1. 7 Wednesday. 2008 we need to add 2, because 2008 falls under leap year. In February there will be an extra day, that is 29th Feb 2008. March comes after February, so we need to add +2. If it is mentioned as January, we need to add only +1. March falls after February 29th of 2008, so we need to add +2. So after adding +2, we will get Friday in 2008. In 2009 is not divisible with 4. So we need to add plus 1. 2009 doesn't fall under leap year. So we are just adding plus 1. So Friday plus 1 extra day, that is Saturday. 1st March 2009 is Saturday. Now we will try to solve one more problem in this method. 1st January 2005 is Monday. What will be the 1st Jan 2008? Firstly, we need to check whether the year is leap year or not. 2005, it's not a leap year. 2005 doesn't divisible with 4, so it is not a leap year. 6, not a leap year. 7, not a leap year. 8, yes, 8 is a leap year. 2008 divisible with 4, so it is a leap year. But they have mentioned it is 1st January. In 2008, we will get extra day in February month. Here they have mentioned January. So we need to add only plus 1, not plus 2. Okay? If they have mentioned March, we need to add plus 2. Here they have mentioned only January. So we need to add only 1. Because in February we are going to get 1 extra day, not in January month. So we need to add only 1. Okay? 2005, 1st January is Monday. 6, it's Tuesday. 7, it's Wednesday. 8, it's Thursday. Now we will try to solve one more problem in this method, because most of the questions in this topic will be asked in this type of questions only. So only I am discussing these many problems in this method. Actually I used to discuss only one question in each method, but this method is very important and most of the questions will come under this method only. Okay, 1st January 2009 is Sunday. 1st January 2009 is Sunday. We need to know 1st January 2004. Okay. Do the 2009 falls under leap year? No, it is not a leap year. 2009 doesn't divisible with 4, so it is not a leap year. They have mentioned 2009 1st January is Sunday. Then 1st January of 2008. Firstly, we need to know 1st January of 2008. Then 2007, 6, 5, finally 4. 2004. Firstly, we will know the day which falls in 1st January of 2008. In 2009, they have mentioned 1st January is Sunday. Okay. 2008. 2008 is divisible with 4. Yes. 2008 is a leap year. So if it is leap year, then the extra day will falls on February month. They mentioned January. So we need to count from descending order. That means December, November, October, September, like that. We need to subtract -2 because extra day falls on February. Descending, right, from 2009 to 2004. So we need to count from descending order. That means March, February, January, December, November, like that. In February, the extra day will count. So we need to subtract -2. If we subtract -2, that means it's Friday. Sunday, right? That means -2 means one day is Saturday. We will skip that Saturday and then Friday. Now 2007 of 1st January -1, that is Thursday. 2006 Wednesday, 2005 Tuesday. Now we will see 2004. 2004 is divisible with 4. So again we need to minus 2. We will get Sunday. Monday will be eliminated and then Sunday. So 1st January 2004 is Sunday if 1st January 2009 is Sunday. This is how we need to solve these kind of problems. Now we will move on to the actual problems. The questions which I have discussed till now is basic things. Just for understanding purpose, I have explained those questions. Now we will move on to the actual problems. See, if every second Saturday, and all Sunday or holidays in a 30-day month beginning on Saturday, then how many working days are there in that month? Okay, options were option A 20 days, option B 23 days, option C 25 days, option D 30 days. See the question. If every second Saturday and all Sunday or holidays in a 30-day month beginning on Saturday, then how many working days are there in that month? Can you guys pause the video and try it once? In question they have mentioned 30 days month, okay, which is beginning on Saturday. That means first of that particular month is Saturday. Okay, so we need to add plus 7. First of that month is Saturday, plus 7 will be 8. 8th is Saturday, plus 7. 8 plus 7, 15. 15 plus 7, 22. 22 plus 7, 29. Okay, 8th is Saturday, 15th is Saturday, 22nd is Saturday, 29th is Saturday. And first is Saturday means second is Sunday. 8th is Saturday means 9th is Sunday. 15th is Saturday means 16th is Sunday. 22nd is Saturday means 23rd is Sunday. 29th is Saturday means 30th is Sunday. In question they said that all Sundays are holidays. All these Sundays were holidays. How many Sundays? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So 5 Sundays are holidays. And then every second Saturday. This is second Saturday and this is second Saturday. You might have got doubt this is fourth Saturday, right? But actually in question they mentioned every. See this keyword every. They said that every second Saturday. If they directly asked second Saturday means we need to calculate only one second Saturday. But here they mentioned every second Saturday. So we need to count every second Saturday. This is one second Saturday and then this is another second Saturday. Like this we need to count. So totally how many holidays we have got? These Sundays were 5 and then 1, 2. Totally 7 holidays. We have got 7 holidays. Okay. Now what they have asked in question, how many working days are there in that month? We need to subtract this 7 with 30. 30 minus 7, 23. So there are 23 working days in that particular month? Answer is 23 days. Option B is correct, 23 days. Let me explain one more time. See, they have mentioned near 30 days month. Okay, they have mentioned 30 days month beginning on Saturday. That means first of that month is Saturday. If first of that month is Saturday, then we need to calculate second Saturday of that month. That means add plus 7. So it is 8 plus 7, 15 plus 7, 27 plus 7, 29. So totally 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 Saturdays. In that they have mentioned every second Saturday is holiday. This is one second Saturday and this is another second Saturday. In question they have mentioned keyword every. That means though it is fourth Saturday, we need to consider it as second Saturday, because in question they have mentioned every second Saturday is holiday. So this is also second Saturday. First of that month is Saturday, then obviously second of that month is Sunday. 8th falls under Saturday, then 9th will be Sunday. 15 means 16th will be Sunday. 29th is Saturday, then 30th is Sunday. In question they have mentioned all Sundays are holidays. That means how many Sundays we have got? 5. Okay, and then every second Saturday is holiday. Totally how many second Saturdays? 2. Totally 5 plus 2 is 7. Subtract this 7 from 30 days. So if we subtract 30 from 7, we have got 23rd. So totally 23 working days are there in that month. This is how we need to solve this problem. Okay, now we will move on to another problem. In a month of 31 days, in previous question they have mentioned 30 days, now they are asking 31 days. If third Thursday falls on 16th, then what will be the last day of the month? Options: option A, 5th Friday, option B, 4th Saturday, C, 5th Wednesday, D, 5th Thursday. In a month of 31 days, if third Thursday falls on 16th, that is 31 days month. Okay, third Thursday falls on 16th. 16th is Thursday and it is third Thursday. That means minus 7. Second Thursday is 9th and first Thursday will be minus 7. 9 minus 7, that is 2. This is first Thursday. First Thursday is second. Second Thursday is 9th. Third Thursday is 16th. And then fourth Thursday, add 7. 16 plus 7, 23. Plus 7. 23 plus 7, 30. So totally 5 Thursdays, right? And they are questioning that what will be the last day of that month. That means we need to know 31st of that month. Here we already know 30th is Thursday. So 31st will be Friday. That's it. 31st falls on Friday. See, they have mentioned third Thursday is 16th. Okay, let me change pen color. Third Thursday is 16th. Okay, then we need to know fourth Thursday and then fifth Thursday. Simply we need to add plus 7 to this 16, because in a week there are 7 days. So we need to know fourth Thursday. Fourth Thursday is 23rd and then fifth Thursday is 30th. If 30th is Thursday, then 31st will be Friday. So the answer is Friday. 31st falls on Friday. Option A is correct. Friday. And here they have mentioned 4th, 5th, 5th. Okay. This is 1st, this is 2nd, this is 3rd, this is 4th, this is 5th. Okay. So this is 5th Friday. 5th Friday. Answer is option A. Please note down the question. Sneha correctly remembers that her father's birthday is before 16th June but after 11th June, whereas her younger brother correctly remembers that their father's birthday is after 13th June but before 18th June, and her elder brother correctly remembers that their father's birthday is on even date. On which date in June is definitely their birthday. Options: option A 16th, B 12th, C 14th, D data inadequate. That means data is not sufficient to find the solution. Though question is lengthy, answer is simple. Please try to solve. Neha correctly remembers that her father's birthday is before 16th. Okay, is before 16th, but after 11th. Before 16th and after 11th. That means in between 11 to 16. Whereas her younger brother correctly remembers. Consider this is first statement. Okay. Her younger brother correctly remembers that their father's birthday is after 13th but before 18th. After 13th, before 18th. And her elder brother correctly remembers that their father's birthday is on even date. On which date is definitely their father's birthday. In this statement, they have mentioned before 16 and after 11th. That means 12, 13, 14, 15. Here, before 18, after 13. That means 14, 15, 16, 17. Okay, we will see overlapping numbers. See, in these two statements, is there any number which is overlapping? Yes, 14, 15 is overlapping. These two numbers will be eliminated. These two will be eliminated. Only 14, 15 are overlapping. So it will be either 14 or 15. In third statement, what they have mentioned, it is even date. So 14 is even number, whereas 15 is odd number. 2, 4, 6, 8, those were even numbers, and 1, 3, 5, 7 were odd numbers. We might have already studied this thing in our primary school, right? So 14 is even date. That's it. Answer is option C, 14th. Though question is quite lengthy. Answer is very simple. I will explain one more time. Sneha remembers her father's birthday is before 16th and after 11th. That means 12 to 15. And her one of the brother remembers it's in before 18th and after 13th. That means 14 to 17. Whereas her another brother remembers it's even date. Their overlapping numbers were 14, 15. So we need to eliminate 16, 17 and 12, 13. So in 14, 15, even number is 14. So answer is 14. Priest told to the devotee, the temple bell rings at regular interval of 45 minutes. The last bell had rung 5 minutes ago. That means 5 minutes before. The next bell is due to be rung at 7:45 am. At what time did the priest give this information? To that devotee. Please understand this question. We will look into options. Option A 7:40 am. Option B 7:05 am. Option C 6:55 am. And option D none of the above. The bell rings at regular interval of 45 minutes. That means for every 45 minutes they used to ring the bell. The last bell had rung 5 minutes ago. The last bell had rung 5 minutes ago. Okay. The next bell is due to be rung at 7:45. The bell is going to rung at 7:45. At what time did the priest give this information to the devotee? That is 7:40. Is it true? No. It's false. How we need to solve this? They have mentioned at every 45 minutes they used to ring a bell. Okay. And the next bell is going to ring at 7:45. And the priest told to the devotee that already 5 minutes had been passed. The next bell is going to ring at after 40 minutes. Right? And then he said that the next bell is going to ring at 7:45. And he said that already 5 minutes has been passed. That means 7:45 minus 40. Then answer will be 7:05. At 7:05 am, the priest told to the devotee that the next bell will be rung at 7:45 am. Already 5 minutes has been passed. So he said at 7:05 am. Answer is option B. At BMTC bus, I am considering it as BMTC bus, that is Bangalore Metro Transport Corporation, Bangalore local bus. Okay, leaves for Bangalore. At after every 40 minutes. A enquiry clerk gave the information to the passenger that last bus had left 10 minutes ago. Next bus will leave at 10:45 for Bangalore. At what time did the inquiry clerk gave this information to the passenger? Same like our previous question. Please try to solve this problem. A bus is going to leave for every 40 minutes. Okay, every 40 minutes a bus is going to leave the station. In inquiry, the inquiry clerk gave the information to the passenger that the last bus had left 10 minutes ago. Already 10 minutes has been passed. So the remaining time will be 30 minutes. And he told that the next bus will be at 10:45 a.m. At 10:45 a.m. the bus is going to leave. Then at what time did the inquiry clerk give this information to the passenger? That means 10:45 minus 30. That is 10:15. At 10:15 a.m. the inquiry clerk gave this information to the passenger